There's nothing better than riding a good mule or horse in the mountains. Today we're heading into some of our favorite country, cooking elk tacos over an open fire, and seeing how our new horse feels about mountain adventures, along with what we can do to build his confidence going forward and support him where he needs us most. Stay tuned for the views. You're not going to want to miss out on this breathtaking mountain scenery.
Well, today's an exciting day. We're taking our new horse out on his first big mountain ride. It's November 23rd, and it's starting to get snowy up in the mountains. But we actually heard a rumor about an abandoned mine up in some cool-looking country. Checked it out on Google Earth. And so we figured, what better place to go than way up to 10,000 feet on our first ride with our new horse. So here we go. Reata says, I thought we were done with big rides for the season. What the heck? Don't you know it's almost Christmas? Alright, we're gonna grab the newest member of our herd. We just bought this horse 4 days ago, and his name is Taz. He's a big buckskin Appaloosa boy, and he's built for covering country in the mountains. That's exactly what we're going to do today. So it's his first big trip with us. Well, today's ride is going to be a long one, so we're actually going to be kind of racing daylight by the end of the day. So we got up early, got these guys fed, and we're going to early start. Got a little bit of a drive ahead of us, but it's going to be a pretty one. Well, we're down to 16 degrees now, and it's getting a little snowier than we anticipated up here. I mean, right now we're probably at 7,000 feet or so, and it's November 23rd, so snow is to be expected, but I was expecting it to be just a little farther up the hill, so we'll see how this goes. Well, we had to change up our game plan. Where we were planning on going initially today was a little too snowy. We definitely couldn't get the trailer up where we wanted to go. It was getting icy and we weren't even close yet. So we changed it up, and it's still freezing, but we found a spot with less snow. So we're gonna tack up Taz. I get to ride Taz today, and Alyssa is gonna ride Reata. And we're gonna climb up a little mountain here, kind of more of a foothill in this country, but it should be a really pretty view up there. We're gonna go up there and we're gonna make lunch and just see how Taz does. We have a few priorities today. First off, we just want to have a good, safe ride for Taz's first mountain ride, and we also are going to try to stretch the rubber band a little bit. We've been traveling with TS Mules, going to clinics, and Ty talks a lot about stretching the rubber band when you have an equine that is a little bit unsure by themselves. So what that means is just get them a little farther away from their buddy than they feel super comfortable with, and bring them back together, and don't break that rubber band. So we're going to start working on that today with Taz, but mostly we're just going to have a fun ride and take in some really good views. This is one of the prettiest places in Idaho, and we're going to have a good lunch when we get to the top. So
To set Taz up for success, we put a ride on him last night at home. Both Jason and I rode him around for a bit and let Taz get familiar with us. If you want to see Taz's first ride since bringing him home, you can go check it out on our members page.
So a little fun fact, speaking of my first horse, this was actually the first saddle I ever bought, and Alyssa has straight up stolen it. I haven't rode in this saddle in a couple of years.
It doesn't fit Reata.
It doesn't fit Reata, it's true. Reata's got that flat donkey back, but it looks like it fits Taz perfect, it fits Rooster really well, and it actually fits Clyde pretty well too. But yeah, I was working at the railroad, BNSF Railroad, running coal from Edgemont, South Dakota to Gillette, Wyoming. And I had my first horse, and I saved up. I shouldn't have done this. At the time, I wasn't as wise about money, but I saved up and bought this saddle at King's Saddlery over in Sheridan. And so it's kind of a special saddle. It went without being on an equine for several years, but just based on principle, I was like, I'm not selling that saddle. We're getting horses in the future, and here we are.
Pro tip, when it's really cold like this, we put our bridles in the pickup truck when we're driving to where we're gonna go ride, because the metal on your bit gets really cold, and it can be so cold that their tongue can actually stick to the bit. So no one likes to put ice cold metal in their mouth. So we put them in the truck, warm them up for them. That way their tongue doesn't get stuck to the bit. There you go. And I'm riding Reata today. I think I've ridden Reata maybe once before in our costume contest. We'll insert that so you guys who didn't see it can appreciate our costume contest. But other than that, I don't think I've ridden Reata.
I don't think there's very many people that will appreciate my costume, but Alyssa's was pretty funny.
I feel like everyone needs to see Jason in leggings at least once. For all of you who are new to our channel and watching this video, and this is your first video you've ever watched of us, I apologize. This is not a common thing. But there you go, you're welcome.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
We're going to do a little groundwork with Taz just to check things out. One of the first things we're working on is getting him to stand still to mount. He's a big horse, and it's important that he can stand quietly while folks climb on.
Nice. Oh boy.
We got a houndsman over there. Let his dogs out, so they've been running up along this berm, and Taz was like, what in the world is that thing? So that's pretty cool. I wonder if they're running a line. Anyway, we're gonna go up here and ride up in this country. It's gonna be so pretty from up here. We're gonna do a little campfire cooking, have some lunch, just enjoy the mountain views. It's getting to be a beautiful day. I forgot my gloves back of the trailer, so hopefully my hands don't get freezing cold, but should start warming up now. Taz walks a little faster than Reata does. Not used to seeing Reata's ears in front of me. She's pretty cute though. So this ride we're just kind of feeling Taz out. We've taken him on one ride previously when we were just checking him out before we bought him, but this is our first mountain ride since he's been our horse and only our second mountain ride on him. So Jason gets to ride him today. Yeah, we're just gonna see kind of how he does. He has a lot of energy. Jason gets to feel that today. He wants to go, huh?
Feels really good so far.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not like out of control, but he wants to move out. We'll see how much energy he has by the time we get to the top of that. Unfortunately, we've got a pretty steep climb.
Just wait to see the views though up there.
Yeah, they're gonna be, the views are gonna be beautiful. That's what Jake.
Mountains in Idaho are up here.
I don't know if you could hear him, but he said the prettiest mountains in Idaho are from up here, so I agree with him. We'll show you guys here in a minute. Alright, we're gonna see how Taz does with the spooky water trough. Let's see how Reata does with the spooky water trough.
Good boy, buddy.
Yeah, she's doing good.
Good boy. We'll go one step closer. Nice. Attaboy. And one more.
He's probably seen water troughs before, like out in the mountains, but I don't know.
Yeah. So far, so good. I am loving this horse. He's awesome. It's a big, I'm like looking that angle at Reata right now. I'm like, I never knew how little you were.
I feel like I'm riding Josie.
She's small but mighty.
This is what Josie's gonna be like. If Josie got this big, I'd be so pumped, actually.
Yep.
This would be perfect.
It would.
Reata's like the minimum size that doesn't feel like my feet are gonna drag the ground.
Yeah. She's nice and stout, thankfully.
Up the hill we go.
Reata's like, where's the switchback?
She's like, and break. Good girl, Reata. Bye, Taz. Taz is a powerhouse.
Great time for these guys.
He got steep.
Got steep. Really, really steep. There's no switchbacks.
No. So, we'll get some exercise in and give these guys a little bit of a break. They don't need to carry our fat butts up here the whole way. We can walk on our own two legs for a little while. Oh, Reata. Come on. Poor Taz. Glad we let him. He's a little out of shape. Poor guy.
Me too.
Yeah. Felt good to get a little hike in.
It did, actually.
How about you? You're probably in the best shape out of all of us, huh?
Yeah.
You've been hiking all summer, Reata. Hey, look at that. All you gotta do is walk him, 400 feet of elevation up a steep hill and you can stand still to mount.
Yeah, 4 or 6.
Yeah, or
Felt
6.
Like 6 to me.
It did. Felt like 1,000. Alrighty, guys. Got a break. Everyone's ready to go. We gotta get up through this little gate right here. Then we'll be cruising.
Onward and upward.
Onward and upward. So you might be wondering why I decided to ride Reata today instead of Clyde, along with Taz. The number one reason is Clyde uses the same saddle as Taz, so we don't have enough saddles that fit those two boys to ride them both at the same time. And the other reason is even though everyone seems to think that Clyde is the calmest out of the bunch, and he's a good boy in a lot of ways, Reata is actually kind of the rock of our herd when it comes to spooking and not bucking and just being good around livestock and wildlife and stuff. And so we figured she would be a nice energy for Taz to ride along with. Even though she is touchy about people, everything else she's really quite good about as far as being out in the mountains. She's a really good little mule, so that's why we decided to bring Reata along instead of old Clyde. Clyde got the day off today. How's old Taz doing back there?
He's doing awesome. I love him.
He's cool.
He is. He's out of shape, but you can tell he has a lot of softness in him,
Yeah.
which is really exciting. I'm excited to see like next summer what he feels like to ride compared
Seriously.
to now. I'm really thankful I get the chance to ride him right off because it'll be fun to feel the before and after.
Jason was literally just saying, gosh, it feels like there should be deer sheds in here. There it is. Hold on, Reata, don't step on it. Oh, cool, it's got a sticker.
You can almost just grab it off of Reata.
I know. Jason said I almost could just reach and grab it off Reata. It's pretty close. Check this thing out. Look at that, baby giant. Look at that little
so
sticker
cool.
right there.
He has this sticker off his base too.
Got a nice eye guard. Yeah, a little extra down there. It's been sitting up here for a minute. It's kind of chalky, but that's pretty cool. He's gonna be a nice buck. Alright, I just got this one tied on. Turn around and talk to Jason. And there's another little shed right here. This one's ancient. Check that thing out.
Got a little color to it.
That's funny. We're in them now.
That's so cool.
Reata almost ran away from me because she was scared of the shed. How about this one? That one's scary. This is her favorite thing to do to her. Will you let me? There you go. Ta-da! Mulecorn. You tolerate a lot, huh? Poor girl. You're good. That kind of stuff, like, yeah, most mules would tolerate, but Reata was so touchy when we first got her. They had been really hard on her. We don't like to use the term abuse lightly, but they were really rough on this mule. She wouldn't even let you touch her, let alone, you know, catch her, put a shed on her head, all that kind of silly stuff. This even was too much for her at first, so she's really come a long ways. And me and Reata's relationship is still sort of new because Jason's done everything with her, but, you know, we've just become friends over the years, so I really haven't ridden her much. So this is new for her to have me as her person today. I don't know how she feels about it. Besides, I guess it's okay. I don't love it. She's weird. Oh, Reata, you're good.
I do think it's actually really beneficial to do all those little silly things that are a little bit spooky to your equine, and then they like survive it and they're like, oh, that was fine. Alyssa's always doing that kind of stuff. Like skipping around and mulecorn horn and just silly stuff all the time. But I think it really makes a confident equine over time. They might be uncomfortable with it at first, but once they get used to that stuff, they're just solid. I think it actually helps.
I do too.
I don't take as much time to be like a real screwball with them. I did do mulecorn once with Reata, and she looked awesome.
She did. Shed. She also looked like she loved it.
But Alyssa does that stuff all the time, and I actually think it actually helps them.
I've heard the term goof-proofing your equine, and that's I like that. So I like to goof-proof all my equines. Huh.
That's Alyssa's calling.
It's my calling in life to goof-proof equines. And today is your turn, Reata. Lucky you. She's so excited about it. Look at her. You can tell. See that excitement? She's like, where did I take a wrong turn? Why am I here? No, I think she likes her life a lot better than her old life for sure.
She definitely does.
Even if she has to put up with the goofy girl. We've explained it before, and a lot of you guys probably know if you live out west here or even back east and have deer around, but for those of you who don't know, deer, elk, moose, even antelope are the only horned animals that lose their horns, but every year deer, elk, moose lose their antlers. They naturally fall off, and so it's pretty fun to come up here and find them. And we weren't really planning on doing that today, but we had talked about it and how we might be able to find them in this spot, so it's pretty fun that we already found a couple. But yeah, when their testosterone starts dropping off after the rut, right after their breeding season, then their horns just naturally fall off. They're technically antlers. A lot of people call them horns. The right thing to call them would be antlers, but that's kind of like, I don't know what an example would be, but anyway, the correct terminology would be antler. Horn is like sheep, antelope, all those have horns. But yeah, we like to find them. We use the words interchangeably, even though it's incorrect. It bugs some people. But hopefully we find a couple more. It's always fun. Each one's unique and different. It's just kind of like an Easter egg hunt.
And they probably won't drop for another month.
Taz is sure doing good. Like, Jason just rode him way over in the brush over there. And he's doing really good. So already he's making big improvements of being able to ride him away from Reata. So that's one good thing about shed hunting, because we don't like to ride the same spot, because obviously you want to spread out and try to find different sheds. And so a lot of times we're riding in and out of brush and away from each other and back together, and so it really helps horses and mules that are herd bound to just do that kind of stuff. So he's getting a taste of that right now. So one thing that's pretty crazy, we just popped out here, and there's actually a fault line from an earthquake that happened in, was it 1986?
In the 80s, I don't know.
Somewhere in there. 80, I don't know if it was 86, but yeah, sometime in the 1980s. And there's a huge fault line that goes across this whole valley. It looks like a roadbed from a long ways away. But the valley, I think they said the valley floor dropped like 8 feet, dropped away from where that fault line is. It's pretty crazy. So we just rode up here. We actually thought this was a roadbed, but it turns out it's part of the fault line. So we'll show you guys, but
that's super cool. Yeah, I thought it was a cut bank above a roadbed, and I got up here, I was like, oh, that's a fault line. So
yeah,
that's actually kind of fun. I wasn't even thinking about it being up here, but this is where it is. So
yep.
Let's go check it out.
On a quiet fall morning in 1983, just after 8 a.m., the ground in a remote stretch of the northern Rockies suddenly split open. A massive 6.9 magnitude earthquake hit, one of the strongest the region had ever felt. And it was shallow enough that the shaking came through brutally hard. For nearly a whole minute, the earth violently shook. Instruments later showed that it was shaking with nearly 70% of the force of gravity, strong enough to knock people off of their feet, throw furniture across rooms, and bring down older brick and stone buildings. The quake broke open a long locked fault line running through the mountains. When the earth finally gave way, one whole side of the mountain range was pushed upward more than 6 feet, while the valley beside it dropped sharply. In some places, the ground was ripped apart by 14 feet. A 26-mile-long scar suddenly appeared across the land. Fresh cliffs, wide cracks, and jagged steps of lifted earth. The nearby towns were hit hard. Brick schools, old storefronts, churches, and historic buildings collapsed within seconds. Chimneys fell through roofs, homes slid off their foundations, water and gas lines broke, roads cracked open. Power went out across the region. People said it sounded like a freight train crashing straight into town. Dust filled the air as buildings fell. Some people ran outside only to watch more walls crumbling during the first aftershocks. 2 people were killed by falling debris, and many others were injured. And the shaking didn't stop. Over the next few months, there were thousands of aftershocks, some strong enough to knock things off shelves again or send people running outside. Almost a year later, a big aftershock, magnitude of 5.8, hit hard enough to crack repaired walls all over again and bring back all that fear of the original quake. The earthquake changed things far beyond the fault line. In famous geothermal areas hundreds of miles away, geysers suddenly started erupting on new schedules, with longer delays between eruptions. Hot springs changed color. In low wet areas, the ground actually burst open, shooting out water and sand like mini geysers and leaving behind round craters and light-colored sand piles. A nearby river even rose several inches from all the water forced out of the ground. The federal government declared the area as a major disaster, and the damage climbed into the tens of millions of dollars, a huge hit for small, rural communities. Rebuilding took months, and some old buildings were damaged so badly that they had to be torn down. Even today, you can still see the scar running down the mountainside. It's a reminder of the morning the earth ripped open and changed everything in this area.
You can see from back there, we'll show you, but from back there you can look down this big old cut bank looking thing, and you can see it run across this ridge, down through the saddle, across the next ridge, and down the valley. It's pretty neat. Could you imagine being here when that happened? That was just in the 80s. That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
That would be intense. I don't think Taz would be a fan.
No. Yeah, there would have been like 2 different plates there that apparently moved and just caused that all to slough away.
Yeah, that would be really scary.
If you were standing in the wrong spot at the wrong time, you would just be like, whoosh! Yeah, it'd be so weird.
And now Reata's taller than Taz.
Yeah. Good boy, buddy. And that was really good for him.
That was really good.
Riding out and around.
Yeah.
Until he got anxious, but
yeah,
he did it.
Going away from Reata is not easy.
No.
But he tries. That is one thing, actually, is he does try. He's uncomfortable, and he'll keep doing what you're asking, but we're just trying to stretch the rubber band just a little bit. But he's doing great. It's nice to feel the effort, even though he's tight. He'll just keep kind of listening, but he's like, my buddy's back there.
I can't. I don't think you understand. Now he's coming down, though.
Yeah.
Good boy.
He's a good boy. Taz has a little leftover anxiety from walking away from Reata.
He says she might leave me, and I'm really worried about it. Yeah. Just lots of riding.
He'll get her.
He will.
He's improved on this ride. Right now he's kind of at like a bad moment, but already on this ride he's like had anxiety, got better. Had anxiety, got better.
Yep.
And I think the more you do that, just the less of the anxiety times that you have.
Yep, and he'll figure out how to self-regulate his own emotions and come down on his own and come down quicker, and he'll get better and better at it. He doesn't have a lot of the skills he needs to just be chill all the time yet, but he'll get them.
Mental skills.
Yeah. There's so much moose poop in here. Moose have really been hanging out in here. That's kind of cool. I think we'll build a little fire probably right over here. We gotta find a couple good trees to tie these guys up to, so we're gonna look around and then we'll get lunch set up. Start cooking that. Good boy, Tazzers. Oh, he's so itchy. He's pretty rude about that. That's one thing he needs to work on for sure. He's just so itchy, but he's got too big of a head to be clobbering you with it. Alright, Reata, let's find a good tree. Lunch. Max? Everything on the ground's still kind of damp. Well, these guys are settling in. Taz is nice and calm now. Tied him up and he just started eating this tree, but I think it was just anxiety coming out. He seems pretty settled and chilled out now. Good boy, Tazers. I'm going to leave him alone though. He's feeling good. I'm not going to bug him. Got a nice little fire going. Got our lunch over here. Should be pretty good. Chill.
Well, while we're waiting for this to kind of cook down a little bit, settle down and get some good embers to cook on, I kind of was excited to tell you guys a little bit about some of our future goals and some things that we're working towards. We've mentioned it a little bit here and there, but we have some exciting stuff going on, and we kind of wanted to share a little glimpse into our mindset and what we're working towards and what we hope to get to in the future. And Taz is actually kind of one of the first steps in this plan. So I guess I'll kind of start by saying, you guys know, people who have watched for a long time know that Alyssa really has a gift for working with equines, starting with Clyde first and then adopting Rooster, her first Mustang. That really, you know, we already knew she had a gift for it, but it also kind of just revealed to us how fulfilling it is to work with horses. And so we have a plan. We don't really know exactly how it looks, but we'd really like to get to where we are adopting Mustangs or horses that need a new home or rescue mules, adopt them, give them a good foundation, and then find good homes for them in the future.
Yep.
It ties in really well. Right now we have the opportunity, we get to work for TS Mules and Ty and Sky Evans, and they're awesome. So we get to travel all over the western US, and we get to go to these clinics and work with our mules or our horses or whoever we want as part of that job. And so it's a really good fit for taking on new horses or mules like Taz, and Rooster will be going this next year. And anyway, we want to tie in adopting and rehoming more equines in the future. So do you have any thoughts you want to share on like what that could potentially look like, or what we're hoping it looks like, or anything like that?
Well, for starters, I mean, as you guys know, we do have a small property, so kind of the first step is figuring out how to get a little bigger property. We love where we live and we'd like to stay around there. There's just not a lot of homes for sale. We actually had like what seemed to be the perfect property pop up for sale, and in the midst of us trying to get all of our paperwork lined up to make an offer on that place, it went pending. It was like 2 days and it went pending. So they don't pop up very often, and when they do, it seems like they're sold almost instantly. So that's a little discouraging to us, but we've had a couple folks reach out to us about maybe some options to, you know, lease a facility or caretake for a facility, and that's definitely a possibility in the future and something we're continually working towards that as well. But ultimately, like, the property is kind of the limiting factor at the moment, and I feel like we're really anxious to get into a bigger property, and that's like the main thing. We're extremely thankful for what we have, and in the meantime, we're just trying to fix up our place and pay our mortgage down, and, you know, be prepared as we can for when the right place comes along. But yeah, once we get a little bigger area to work with these horses and to house these horses, I don't think we want to get much more than what we have now, just because we're the only two working with them. So, you know, we've got to be able to spend enough adequate time with all of them and take that into consideration. And but we would like to get maybe 1 to 2 Mustangs per year, and just work with them for a couple years, maybe even a few years, depending on what they need, and just get them to be really solid, gentle mountain horses, and then get them out to good homes. A lot of people, I think, are interested in the Mustangs, but don't know how to start one that's never been touched, and so I feel like that's where we could come in and do that initial work with them, build their trust, even get them started under saddle, get them going really well under saddle, and then they would be set up good for a really good home down the road. There's always a lot of mules that seem like they need help. They're misunderstood, just like Reata. Maybe mishandled, like Reata was, to where they're really fearful or they have some issues and they end up finding their way into kill pens. And we definitely have a heart for those, knowing that we most likely could help a lot of them, such as Reata, which will be staying with us forever, but there's other ones like Cedar that, you know, we'd like to get and then rehome into good homes. So, yeah, just having that experience with mules, I feel like we could really help some mules out as well.
It's almost ready to cook on.
It's getting there.
One thing I do want to add though before we start cooking is we truly appreciate you watching this video. We had a huge wave of comments come in on the video where we bought Taz and brought him home, and whenever we get those comments, it's just like literally hundreds and hundreds of awesome people that reach out, and you're encouraging and you're friendly, and it's still super humbling to us that there's so many really cool people out there that watch our videos. It's kind of crazy. Like, it's kind of numbers on a screen. From our end, you see like, oh, 10,000 views or 30,000 views or whatever, and you're like, oh wow, that was a pretty good video. People like that. But then when you really think about the people on the other side of the screen that are watching it and then taking time to leave nice comments, it's pretty mind-blowing to both of us. So we really appreciate you watching and your positivity and your comments. It's so encouraging. So thank you guys.
We started our YouTube as just kind of a journal to keep in contact with, you know, like Jason's folks. They live in Oregon and we don't get to see them as much as we'd like, and they really enjoy watching all of our hunts. And so instead of, you know, just sending them some pictures and videos, we're like, well, what if we make a full-blown, you know, film on it, and then you guys can watch that. And so we wanted to do that with our equines too, because it's pretty fun to watch them. You know, like Rooster, it's fun to have that all documented and be able to see where we started from. And you can only see so much through, you know, little tiny cell phone videos and photographs, but it's really cool to go back and watch where we started. And so it's basically a journal, a video journal for us, and it's so neat that so many people have joined along as well and are also enjoying it. So it's pretty crazy.
Crazy awesome.
Crazy awesome. Look at Taz just sleeping over there. Just as chill as can be.
They kind of settled in. He started off being pretty anxious, being tied up. For some reason, he just started immediately chewing on the tree that he's tied to. But now he's very much at peace and just hanging out, which is really good to see.
Good job, buddy.
I love seeing them happy and just like satisfied.
Relaxed.
Especially when they're not always that way.
Yeah, you're like, they're just feeling good about their lives.
That probably
feels... I want that for them all the time.
Yeah.
Reata, man. She's sure come a long way.
This year has been a huge turning point for Reata, going to all the Ty Evans mule clinics and being tied up and being in kind of uncomfortable environments, and then like doing like a little bit of work with her, and then her feeling good about herself in those environments has just like totally made something click for her, to where she's so much more confident. And not even just in those environments, like specifically at clinics where there's a lot of like other people and mules and flags and stuff, but any new environment that like she would have been terrified in before, now she has the confidence to like process it and be okay with it, which is really fun to see, because I still have a solid at least decade, maybe 15 years of working with Reata. So it's fun that she has turned the corner and she's just like our good old reliable, like taking her out on trips like this with Taz when we knew Taz would be a little amped up. It's nice to have one equine that is like solid, the rock, and up till now we haven't had that in our herd. Like Clyde and Reata this last year have like turned the corner to now it's like, well, we have those two, we can take some green stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll, Clyde and Reata will keep them in line, keep them moving the right direction and not let things get out of hand. So
Which is good because we got plenty of green stuff.
we still do have green stock.
Oh, yep.
All right, what do we got for lunch here?
We got some street tacos. I think I'm just gonna cook the meat in the pan here. Jason got this bowl with his muzzle loader, and then we packed it out with Rooster, our Mustang, and Josie, our little spotted mule. They did really good, and we just cut it all up ourselves. Did all the hamburger, ground that all ourselves. So we got steaks off of it, we got hamburger off of it. I need a few more little sticks in them. Are we smoking out, Tazzers? Sour cream. We even have some fresh pico that we made. Voila! There you are, there's your first one. Don't get much better than that. Oh yeah.
It's one of our last nice days before winter settles in. Looking at the forecast, I mean, it was really cold, way below freezing this morning.
Yeah.
But now the sun's out and there's no wind. Won't be long. We'll have highs in the 20s up here. And doing this kind of stuff when it's 20 degrees and blowing snow sideways is not nearly as enjoyable. So we're soaking this in.
Plus, there's a good chance that where we rode through, there'll be about 4 feet of snow in some spots. So it's not going to be possible here pretty soon. But I'm thankful it stayed nice so late in the year this year. It's fun to get to ride Taz up in the mountains a couple times before it's too snowy.
Yeah, it is. I think this has been extremely good for him. Just exactly what he needed.
Getting smoked out, buddy. There you go. Now it's switching.
Yeah, thank you.
There you are.
Hey, if you guys like... Oh... If you guys like it when I fall in the fire, go ahead and hit like. No, just kidding. If you guys like this kind of video, let us know. This is really fun for us to do. But
That's what we're doing anyway, so
Yeah. Do you want us to just film this stuff that we do day to day? Or if it's boring, then obviously let us know in a nice way so you don't hurt our feelings. But it's something new we're trying.
And it's insensitive.
I am. It is something new we're trying though, and we enjoy it. So if you enjoy it, we'd like to keep doing it. But if not, then we won't spend our time packing the camera. We'll just come up here and ride with no camera. Let us know in the comments. Alyssa mentioned after she found that deer shed a little bit ago, she said, "Do you remember when we used to just dream about doing this?" And obviously we remember because it wasn't very long ago.
Back when Clyde would buck me off if we tried.
Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't enjoy every ride. We weren't stealing a ride, but it was kind of stealing a ride. It was like every time you're like, I hope we get back safe. I hope we get back safe.
Yeah, that's what you have to do to make good stock, but man, for a while, it wasn't fun.
No, but it's pretty special to be able to come out here and ride in the mountains. This is all public land. I guess not everyone really knows even what this is, but here in the western United States, we have thousands and thousands of acres that are open to you and to us to just come out and explore and make tacos and ride horses and take in views. It's like, it's pretty special to be able to come out and do this. And when you're raised out here, I mean, people could take it for granted for sure, but when we zoom out and think it wasn't that long ago, we were in an apartment with no equines and
trying to pay off debt,
in a ton of debt. And now we're up here, we have an awesome horse, Taz, we got awesome mule, Reata, and we're able to just ride and take in a peaceful afternoon up here together. It's pretty cool to see, like, zoom out and think about how much we've been blessed.
Yeah.
Got our fire put out. Got everything picked up.
Everything picked up, ready to go ride back down and pick up a big giant deer shed.
Hopefully.
Or a moose paddle.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Oh man, that'd be crazy. Maybe. Well, thank you guys for watching. This has been awesome. Super fun ride out with Taz. We are so thankful to have him, and we're thankful for you guys watching. If you want to keep watching how he progresses, hit subscribe because we have lots more to come with this guy.
There, both Jason and I saw him at like the exact same time. Another deer shed there. This right side. Oh, someone's been chewing on it. This left side. Pretty awesome. Not a bad little buck. What do you think? Pretty amped up. He wants to go home. Also, he's a little worried if Reata leaves him. Oh. How is that right there?
That's a pretty little one. One more shed for the road. Come on. Can you be a mule? Come on, buddy.
Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, let us know in the comments. Oh yeah, and don't worry, we have fun plans to ride up to the abandoned mine in the spring, once the snow melts off. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.